All right. My name is David. This is my brother Ray, and we are.
Preachers from the bleachers.
Yes, sir. Here we are once again. It's Wednesday night. Just to let you guys know, you can catch us here on YouTube, or you can catch us on anchor.fm/preachers from the bleachers. We're also on Spotify.
Spotify.
Thank you.
Spotify.
All right. And we're here every week, and you can leave anything in the comments you want. We'll talk about whatever you'd like to hear us talk about, or ask us any questions, or make dumb comments about us, whatever. We're cool. We just enjoy every week sitting here talking and talking about sports and whatever else comes up. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the NBA playoffs. NFL starts tomorrow, baby.
Woo! Yeah! I got my parlay tickets in. Maybe we'll talk about that later.
All right. Just lots of NBA, lots of NFL tonight. A little bit about NCAA. I've read something today on NCAA. I'm gonna throw that one at you in a little bit because I didn't put it on the run sheet for tonight. And we'll see what's in Ray's rumination and Dave's dialogue and anything in You Suck. So without further ado, here we go. Let's go to the hot hand, and that is the NFL.
Finally.
NFL tomorrow. So, man, I got to tell you, they're not doing the bubble, but they've been pretty good so far, man. They've had like one positive test out of, and boy, they're testing all the time.
I'm so shocked, dude, that it's only been one. These people, I mean, basketball players obviously touch people when they're playing, but I've been shocked that it's only been one COVID test.
Yeah, that's in the last round. So I want to make sure that people understand it's not one overall. They had some early on or whatever, but in the last round, it's only one. So awesome. Play ball.
Wash your hands. Major League Baseball, pay attention.
Wash your hands, everybody. And everybody, wash your hands.
Yeah.
I didn't fill out the rest of that. So, all right, let's start with it. Texans versus Chiefs, man. Tomorrow night, Thursday night game. Who you got? First game of the season.
Oh man, it's a tough one, bro. Because
you can't say that. You love Pat Mahomes.
It's a tough one. Here's the prop. Absolutely, I love Pat Mahomes.
All right.
But it's the Super Bowl champion. That's usually they see the pandemic changes things, right?
Yeah.
But usually they drop that first game because they usually get their Super Bowl rings on that night and they're all feeling happy and joy, and then come out and somebody busts them in the mouth. But they got their Super Bowl rings last week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right? They got their Super Bowl. That's out the way. So, like, the pandemic has me kind of conflicted because I know, like, they're going to still raise the deal, the banner and say Super Bowl. So, like, it's hard for me to not say the Chiefs just because it is Pat Mahomes. I mean, what are they missing? What are they not returning?
Nothing.
And then here come the Texans without DeAndre Hopkins.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
But they got Brandon Cooks, who's pretty good.
You and I the only people in the whole sports world. Professional, non-professional, homies at the bar. Me and you are the only two people that think that Brandon Cooks is gonna look good, gonna play good, and they're gonna miss maybe a slight beat. He might not be able to make them big plays, in the corner of the end zone, but his stats still gonna look real good. So you and I are the only two people on the Brandon Cooks bandwagon. Everybody else think that it's just ho-hum. I'm just saying when it's big play versus big play. Houston don't have as many big players or opportunities as Kansas City. So ultimately, I'm gonna go with Kansas City. If I had to pick this game, I avoided it on every parlay card. The number is huge. It's 9 points. I'm like, first game. Look, man, we could pretend like we know all day long. Every coach will tell you this. You don't know what you know until you know it. Yeah. Game 2. Like you make your most improvement from game 1 to game 2. So they all going into this blind. Ain't no preseason, which I don't think you need. But But for people who used to having preseason, and used to using preseason but they don't have it. So you don't know what they got. We know what Mahomes gonna do. We know what Watson gonna do. But some of them other guys on the Texans, we ain't sure of.
Man, I took the Texans to cover.
That's a good bet. That's a good bet.
That's it. That's a cover. I like Deshaun Watson this year, man. I think he's going to look really good. I think he's got a little bit more protection this year. So hopefully he won't have to do as much running. But Brandon Cooks is a good receiver, and Will Fuller, man, he's made some big plays if he can stay healthy. You know how that goes. If he can stay healthy.
Will, man, I drafted Will Fuller in his rookie year. That was one of my fantasy. Oh, this guy gonna be good in the rookie year. He wasn't horrible, but he wasn't what I thought he was gonna be. So it's year 4, and we're still waiting on Will Fuller.
He can make some plays if he's healthy. He's had terrible injury problems.
I ain't disagreeing with you, but they expected him to push DeAndre Hopkins for number 1. They thought they was drafting another number 1 and was gonna be, one on one side, one on the other, and let's go get it. But he ain't been that guy. He been special teams noteworthy, but wide receiver not so much. But this is his year, his 4th year. If you can't be great or be good in your money year, then you just can't be great.
Right. So speaking of money, big deal. Hopkins got a 2-year, $54 million contract with the Cardinals.
Underpaid,
$42.5 million guaranteed. So
I know, but he had $18.8 million a year.
Yeah.
And Julio's still at 20. I think of somebody else at 20. So I'm just saying he can't be $2 million less.
No, that's $27 million a year. 2 years, 54.
But the contract, the way that they wrote it, it now averages with what he has left on the contract with the 2-year extension. It comes out to 18.8. But my point is, Cardinals didn't have to do it. Right? They didn't know. I mean, it's hard for me to say he should have got 20 million. He worth 20 million, but you ain't worth 20 million to the Cardinals. You ain't caught one touchdown.
That's right. Nothing. Not one pass.
So, but to bring him up to 18.8 a year is enough for the Cardinals. If I'm Hopkins, and obviously he feels some kind of way like I do, man, that's a lot of appreciation for somebody that ain't done nothing for me yet.
Yeah, that's right.
You see what I'm saying? Right. So all in all, I think it's a good deal. It is underpaid compared to where he is in the wide receiver. It's Julio Jones, it's Hopkins, and Thomas. That's it. To me, there ain't no Odell Beckham in that conversation.
No, he dropped out a couple years ago.
He dropped out of that conversation. So them the top 3 guys. If you looking for a wide receiver in the next draft, you're looking for one of them 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So speaking of another big deal, Kareem Hunt got 2 years, $13 million. Man, I guess if I'm Kareem Hunt, I'm kind of disappointed from the trajectory that I was on like 2 years ago to now I'm a backup. I'm a good backup, but 2 years, $13 million when Hopkins just got 2 years, $54 million. So,
but he ain't got nobody. I hate to bring up old crap, man, but he ain't got nobody to blame but himself.
Right.
So he might feel like it's a blessing. Somebody gave me this money after I, drop kick a lady in her gut.
Yeah.
Right or wrong. Yeah, I mean, whatever she did that might have been wrong, you still don't drop kick a woman in her gut.
But he still got $13 million out of it. So
and he still got $13 million. So, he might feel like, ooh, I messed up, which he did, but he also has to like, ooh, whew.
Yeah, like, no kidding.
I'm all right. I'm gonna be all right. And I'm the backup. It's not like, and it's only 2 years. You still got time left to get a 4-year deal.
Yep. You
can get a 4-year deal after these 2 years. Somebody might be desperate for a running back injury or something. I don't think he's ever going to dethrone Nick Chubb.
Well, they might take him and show him off in a couple games too, and then trade him.
There you go.
So I mean, if he looks really good,
Bears
$6.5 million a year. Yeah, $6.5 million a year is damn good money for a feature back. I mean, right?
Yes. And if you are my Chicago Bears, which is very hard to say these days since they put Mitch Trubisky in as starter, it's very hard to say the word my Chicago Bears. But David Montgomery ain't really impressed me. 6.5 for Kareem. brother, if they make that, first of all, I thought he was supposed to come to Chicago anyway because he came from the same system with Nagy, the same system they were. That's familiar. Like, why wouldn't they go after him? And the same reason why Cleveland did. Okay, we know we're gonna miss him for 8 games, but look what we're gonna get.
Yeah.
And what we're gonna get for cheap, which they have proven. But now we gotta, probably give up a 3rd round just to get this guy. Cause I agree with you. He might be trade bait at $6.5 million. And
Yeah.
if we should happen to trade for dude, I think we should give him another 2 years. That's how desperate I
am. you take anybody who can play in Chicago right now.
Anybody on offense?
Yeah.
We straight on D. Anybody on offense?
Yeah. Speaking of D, bad news for Denver this week. Von Miller might miss the season with an ankle injury. So
I bet you that changed the line.
Yeah. I'll bet it did. So man, that's a big loss for their defense.
I forgot who they playing, the Titans?
I think so.
Ooh, Ryan Tannehill sleeping real good right now.
Yeah, I know. So man, I hate that for Von Miller, man. He's such a good player.
And such a good dude.
A good dude, yeah. So Denver, damn. I dropped their defense now.
The whole year. Whole year. And maybe a little bit. And what's killer was he got bigger and still maintained.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the dude got bigger and still maintained all his quickness. So I don't know if that played into the injury. Maybe he waited too late to get bigger. Maybe he should have got bigger at 25 and not 28.
Well, maybe, but that could have something to do with the ankle injury, putting that much more pressure on the lower legs, man. So
I'm just going to assume that he is a professional and working with other professionals that understood how to put that weight on without creating an injury. It might be just one of those things.
Yeah. Right on. So just we discussed this already. Just talking about there's only one positive COVID test in the latest round of their tests. So I think that's awesome. I think they're doing a great job. Whatever they're doing, baseball needs to pay attention. So and
I mean, if you're talking about football and people got paid, don't forget my man, Jalen Ramsey.
Oh yeah, that's for today. Yeah,
105. He got that quarterback money, baby. Ooh, Jesus.
He got the Quan. The Quan.
The Quan.
Jerry Maguire reference.
I know the reference. He got that boy with like we say today. He secured the bag. Oh my gosh! I was watching Hard Knocks. I think it was episode 2, and they had a little spot about Jalen Ramsey. And they was talking about, even though Jalen Ramsey just been here and doesn't have a new contract, he say he's not focused on it. But obviously, if he's going house shopping, he must want to be here.
Yeah.
And they showed his house that he was looking at. Hey, dude, that house is paid for now. It was a house worthy of a man with $105 million.
Yeah. He rolled up with a stack of hundreds on a pallet, and so I'll take this. Here's my cash.
105 days, the highest defensive back pay of all times. Somewhere Deion Sanders is applauding.
Right.
You remember when Deion got $35 million?
Yeah. people went crazy.
Oh my Jesus, $35 million. And he only got $35 million. I remember the Pizza Hut commercial clearly. It was Jerry Jones and Deion Sanders. And they was pretending to discuss his contract negotiations. Remember, Deion was still a baseball player. Baseball went on strike.
Yeah.
And was looking to kind of replace some of that baseball money. And I remember on the commercial, Pizza Hut had this deal where it was like this or that. And it was like both. And so he asked Deion, is it going to be 15 million? Or 20 million. And Deion said both. And he ended up with a $35 million contract.
I never caught on to that.
But 35, I mean, Deion is the greatest all-time cover corner to Jalen Ramsey is the second generation. Bigger, faster, stronger. Or maybe not faster. Deion was historically fast. Yeah, but in that same, I mean, the dude has fluid movement in his hips. I mean, think of it like a action figure. When you're a good defensive back, you want to be able to I'm serious. I'm serious. When you're a defensive back and you're running backwards and they're running forward, and then they go left or go right, you need to have complete fluidity in your hips to where you can turn and twist and then turn and run. And so they look for stuff like that. This dude's hips is like an action figure. It just when he turned it, everything turns. You know what I mean? Like there's no choppiness to it. It's real smooth and fluid. That's why I keep saying that. But I mean, he is everything that you would want in this millennium as a shutdown cornerback. So $105 million. It's the first time in my life where I was like, "Whoo, that's a lot." Usually, I'm saying he underpaid. 105, David. Good Lord. I mean, it's quarterback.
I'm gonna win that on the lottery this weekend. So
very good. We gonna win that on the lottery.
Yeah, you're right. We're taking this show on the road. So, all right, moving on. NBA, man. Rockets and Lakers are taking shots, dude. Davis got a flagrant one on Jeff Green after the fact, of course. And Harden got a technical foul on Davis, and it was after the fact as well. The officials had to look at it later after the game and say, oh, we should have done this. I'm like, how do you not see that stuff during the game? What are they looking at? What are they doing? Because Harden, man, it wasn't, I mean, he threw his arm up and popped Davis in the face. I mean, what are you looking at in the game where you don't see that stuff?
So I'm just gonna say on behalf of the refs, and I've had a rough relationship with all refs, umpires.
Yeah,
man, sometimes you just miss it, like because
come on.
they. You know I can't believe I'm defending the umps.
Me
refs,
either.
all right.
Who are you?
but I think
is Ray there?
I think this caramel pumpkin brulee got my mind all messed up.
Caramel pumpkin brulee.
but they're all assigned to look at different parts of the court. So I'm just saying maybe that one guy that was supposed to be looking there, maybe it was like a bug or something. He looked down to see if his shoe wasn't tied. Dude got popped in. I don't know. I don't know how you miss it.
So how many refs? How many refs are on the court?
And
three.
Three.
Yeah, 3. So there's 10 guys on the court. So you can't watch 3 1/3 people at one time.
They space out. Houston they take the whole half court, dude.
Now,
they be shooting deep threes, man. They take the whole half court.
Well,
he missed it. Dave, many a times.
That was terrible.
If in defense of the referees, I always say, don't say it didn't happen. Just say you missed it.
I think Marcus Smart, who I think is a dirty player, got ejected for less than that against the Mavericks.
Reputation.
So, yeah, I guess.
Reputation. Marcus Smart is not dirty. He's tough. I think Patrick Beverly is dirty.
I think Marcus Smart is dirty. You can be tough and do some hard fouls and stuff like that. When you follow some guy to step on his bad ankle, that's dirty.
It's Marcus. I thought that was one of the Morris twins, bro.
You're right. Marcus Morris is who I'm talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
I keep doing that. My bad. You're right. I keep doing that. I've done that twice in the last 2 or 3 weeks. My bad.
Now, and I don't really even think that Beverly is that dirty. I just think that he still lived in the 90s, and I like that part. But when you do it so much, and that's the difference. And I'm always praising 90s basketball, but they gave you they didn't foul you just to foul you. They didn't brutalize you just to brutalize you. And I think that's why Patrick Beverly comes off dirty to me sometimes, because that's his whole game. He's the goon of the NBA. Like because he can't do really nothing else. Sometimes he get lucky and he might score 10, 12 points on you. But his whole
play to your skill set.
Man, he need to learn a jumper too, bro. He got to learn jumper. This can't. Well, he already got paid, so he probably like, okay, listen, I'm gonna make more fouls now since I didn't got that
hard fouls. That's his skill set.
It's a little too much in today's game when everybody and then for him to come out and say what he said, that I probably was a bigger Patrick Beverly fan before he said they need to stop failing or flopping and failing.
Oh wow!
When he said that, and
about Djokovic.
About the whole. I think he said it was the whole squad.
Yeah.
But come on, man, you can't say that when your whole game is poking at folks. Like that's what you do. Like
just trying to irritate them.
That's your whole game. So don't say that, especially when again your team shot 3 times as many free throws as the other team. Come on, dog.
Oh, no kid.
You know, I mean, I sent you this on social media. I hate when role players talk too much. Let your game speak. You don't get to talk. You don't even get to talk about Black Lives Matter. Just shut up and play basketball. Yeah, that's how bad it is. I want role players. He could talk in LA. He could talk all he want in LA. He could talk in his home city. But when the cameras are rolling nationally, shut up. Your game does not back up all that BS you be talking. You need to just
All right. So next, the Bucks are done, son. So Giannis missed the last 2 games with an ankle sprain. Yeah, you called it. I give you that one. You called it. You did.
I think it would have been 6 games though. I think it would have been if Giannis was playing. It would have been 6 games. I said Miami was coming out the East. They making me nervous. They making me nervous because as tough as they are, and this could be a learning curve. They do got 3 rookies that play a lot, but you're supposed to step on their throat the minute that Giannis faked that ankle injury. You're supposed to step on their throat, bro.
You step on their ankle like Marcus Morris did.
Whatever. You shouldn't have been no 5th game, and you let them hang around in the 5th game. You should have stepped on their throat and made their GM make some hard decisions. Chris Middleton, we need to talk. You know what I mean? Like something. Somebody got to go today.
Well, man, the Bucks, once they got to the bubble, they did not look like the same team they were in the regular season, man. They did not look the same at all. They lost like 4 out of the 8 games or in the seeding rounds, and then just they did not look good through the first round. I mean, they lost that first game to Orlando, and then they swept the next 4, but that was Orlando. So, man, I made my prediction before the bubble games started. So, but I did say the Bucks were coming out, and I was wrong. They looked not so great when
somebody got to go, Dave,
during the bubble.
Somebody got to go, and
Brook
more
Lopez.
Like it ain't. I think it's Bledsoe.
Bledsoe? Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, I don't think it's a real reason to pick on Bledsoe. But when you look at his talent level and his contract, it's the easiest guy to move.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can say, you know what? We're going to get rid of Bledsoe and we're going to get rid of the coach. It don't matter who I bring in as the coach and the new player. It's a new team. It's a new beginning. It's enough to just shake things up. Right? Yeah. Toronto did it. they sent DeMar DeRozan, which was arguably at that time his best player. It might have been Kyle Lowry, but they might have been 1A and 1B. Yeah. They sent him away, fired the coach that was the most successful coach in their history, brought in, elevated the assistant, brought in Kawhi. Now, Kawhi's a different level. They're not getting no player like that. But they shook it up and won a championship. So I just think
they're still alive now.
You can't stand pat. I mean, that's just the bottom line. You know, if you and we was talking about this earlier, the only thing I was saying about Giannis being traded as a GM, you got to look at all. Is you going to make that call and say, I'm going to trade Giannis? Sure. If somebody give me 5, 6, 7 players, right? I mean, Kareem was traded. Charles Barkley was traded. You know what I mean? Like,
I think he asked for the trade though, didn't he? You get a little bit less when the player asks for the trade, I think.
That's correct. But all I'm saying is you have to do your due diligence. And I always bring up Phoenix because they stupid.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, Phoenix they might be willing to give you away something stupid for Giannis. Should you do it? No. But you do got to have a heart-to-heart with the next coach and the GM. Got to say, Giannis, you're the 2-time MVP. Let me tell you how to beat 3 times. You got to come back with a wet jumper. It's got to be wet. You know what I mean? You got to be
It was a little better this year than it was last year. So small improvement here and there. I hope he's got to do a lot more. You're right.
It's got to be wet. And I made a comment earlier on social media, and I was saying, you're on a team full of jump shooters, and your jump shot don't get better. LeBron jump shot got better when he went to Miami, just because Ray Allen helped him and he listened. He tweaked it just a little bit. And I always, when we used to coach little kids, I was like, you got that LeBron chicken wing. You need to bring that elbow down right here.
Yeah.
Little stuff like that make your jumper a little better.
Jason Kidd got so much better when he worked with Dirk for a while.
He worked with Dirk for a while. I'm just saying, you on a team full of shooters and you ain't taking no pointers.
Yeah.
Got to come back with a wet jumper.
He ought to hire Ray Allen to come coach him.
He can skip the line like Steve Nash. Hey, Ray Allen ain't coming to coach, dude. You can get that. I know he played for the Milwaukee Bucks. Got a little bit of history there, but he ain't going to.
He can get. I'm maybe not the coach, but get some personal.
Oh, you mean just go hang out?
Yeah.
Show me how you do that thing.
Yeah, right.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. So Giannis would say, yeah, right.
Probably more inclined at my height to call Dirk than I would call. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I don't want a 6'5" guy teaching me how to shoot jumpers when I'm 7 foot. Let me see another 7-footer that shoot jump. It could be.
Dirk could do that. Go teach him how to shoot and say, hey man, when you get finished here in Milwaukee, you might want to come on down to Dallas.
The team that should have drafted you.
Yes.
The team that passed on you.
Yes. Yeah. You know what? As much as I say fire Donnie Nelson, he was right about Giannis. So, all right, next one. Man, I like this. Brian Shaw is going to coach the G League prospects team.
Why you like it so much, though?
Because I like Brian Shaw, man. Even though I've hated the Lakers, I like Brian Shaw. He's a good guy. He was a good player. Was around for a long time. And I'm excited about seeing the G League prospects team. So see how all those
it does bring a little more oomph to the G League.
He's a champion.
But everybody's gonna be coming at him.
Yeah.
I mean, wait a minute, y'all just put all these cats together thinking that they're gonna come in here and run stuff, right? Yeah. And then you're gonna go out and get no disrespect to G League coaches. You went out and got a real coach. You know what I mean? But when I say real coach, I mean somebody that has, been
experience. NBA level.
A lot of NBA experience level. Some of these other guys might have been at the NBA level as an assistant for 1 or 2 years and then went to the G League because they just needed a job. But they don't come with the Brian Shaw coaching experience resume. So that is definitely good for them young players.
Yeah.
They got, if I'm Brian Shaw, I'm walking in with whatever rings I got. I'm sure he was on one of them Lakers.
Wearing them on the hands. Yeah. I think he's got 2 or 3 of them.
I think he's got at least 2.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this, man. What I want y'all to do today.
What's that? What'd you say? You talking back to me? Go sit down.
I can hear you.
You'd be like this. Go over there. Go over there. All right. So that's all I got on basketball tonight, man. I don't have much on the major leagues except for to say that the Padres we talked about a week ago is that they've gained 1 game on the Dodgers since last week.
I told you the Dodgers was legit, man. We ain't got to talk nothing about no baseball until the playoffs start. One, it's so many teams that's getting in. Like, it's hard. That's why last week
all
we
so
talked
close.
about it. It's so close. So somebody gonna miss the playoffs.
60 games
with a half a game.
I know.
Maybe a quarter game because they gonna have all schedules. Everybody ain't gonna play 60.
That's right.
Somebody gonna miss these playoffs, dude, and somebody gonna get fired. I'm just gonna be honest with you today. Let me be the GM, president, owner, and you missed the playoffs in baseball this year.
Yeah,
you gotta go, man.
I'll tell you what. If a team that plays fewer games than me gets into the playoffs ahead of me, I am pissed.
I'm gonna say 3 games, no. 5 games, that's a lot. If you missing 5 games, that's like in standings are 10 games, but 3 games, that's 6. You probably should have just played better in 3 games.
It's a big percentage though. With only 60 games.
It is huge. It's huge.
So.
Yeah, but don't mention the Padres who I picked without saying White Sox. That's all. We ain't got to say nothing else.
Who?
White Sox still looking good.
Who?
White Sox still looking good. I gotta have something, Dave. The Bears ain't
I
looking.
feel you.
7-9, 8-8.
My Rangers suck, so I got nothing to say.
I'm praying for 10-6. I'm praying, dear God, please let Mitch Trubisky turn out to be a number 2 pick. Lord, please just let him turn out to be a number 25 pick, Lord.
No kidding.
But if that doesn't happen, bro, all I got is my White Sox. So I got every time I got to bring them up because it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good for me right now.
Right on. So I read this today on the NCAA. Moving on from that, Coach K and the ACC coaches are planning to propose a 2021 tournament that includes all the Division I schools. I freaking love that. I love it, man.
The tournament, or that Coach K came up with it?
No, I love the tournament. I love Coach K anyway because I'm a Duke fan. I can't say I'm a Duke guy because I didn't go there, but my dad did, so I'm a Duke fan. So, but yeah.
How close did you live to Duke though?
Oh, about 5 miles.
Yeah, you can claim that, bro.
All right,
you can claim that. That's 5 miles.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you ate in the same places.
Oh yeah, I've been to
all BS aside, that's really close.
I had my head examined at the medical center where my father was a chaplain. Because I hit it when I was like 5 years old. I hit it on like a steel swing when they still had those.
Now it's all coming clear to me.
Bam! Yeah,
all coming clear to me. Bust your head.
Do you understand now?
Yeah, bust it all the way down to the white meat. Now I get it.
All the way down to the white meat. So there you go. They didn't have to go very far for the white meat. They just had to get past the hair. So anyway, I love this tournament idea, man. I you know what it reminds me of, and I'll tell you, there's something in England in soccer called the FA Cup, and what that is like pub teams and community teams and stuff like that can play in this tournament. That eventually, if you go far enough, you'll start playing against the professional teams, like Division I, Division II, and then Premier League teams. So if your team is your pub team or your community team, whatever, is good enough, you could get to play against Liverpool or Man U or something like that. And that's really freaking cool.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And like they've made movies about stuff like that, like certain teams that have these Cinderella, runs at the FA Cup and they get to third or fourth stage or something like that, which is a massive thing. And it's there's a massive swell of support and interest in it, and I think it's awesome. So I would love to see something like that. So see one of these underdogs, one of these guys you never hear of playing anything, end up playing
Gulf Coast.
Yeah,
but that's a lot of schools, Dave. So I didn't look at the proposal. Did you check it out and see?
I didn't see
how they planning to do it.
I did not see that. I don't think they showed any of the logistics about how they plan to do it. It's got to be like a 2-month thing, probably 3 months.
So
I mean, 246 teams, 264.
So is that going to be just the season though?
I don't know.
Okay.
All I read is that they're planning to propose this and the tournament, and they don't exactly know how they'll do it, but I think it's 246 teams. Some of it, there's a few that aren't eligible, and like Oklahoma State is not eligible because of some stuff, some NCAA stuff. But man, I don't know how they do it. I don't care how they do it. I think it would be awesome to give all these smaller D1
let's get it done.
The opportunity to play their way into a tournament to play against some of the big dogs. I love it, man. I always, unless it's my team, I always love the underdog. I do, man. I always root for the underdog.
Everybody, why, Dave? Psychologically, because we see ourselves as the underdog in life.
Yes, absolutely.
That's us. I mean, we hate to admit this, but white people love Luka just because he's white. And it's not wrong.
Because he's good.
It's not because he's good and he's white. But it's about, I can identify. You see what I'm saying? It's like, hey, that could have been me. No, it couldn't. But we all like to live in that world. You see what I'm saying?
There's a good white guy in there.
Yeah. Like one we can look up to and say, and like sometimes people think that that's racist. No, it's just, you just happen to be white. You just happen to wish you could play basketball. And here we got one that's just as good as all the brothers. Right?
That's what you call tribalism, right? You call that tribalism?
Hey, you want to be, listen, Dave, why you think I know Khalid El-Amin's name? Because we about the same height and same weight. Well, same weight now. Huh?
Because he played for UConn?
No, because he's 5'10" and chubby. You know what I mean? Like just and he proved he an NBA player.
Yeah.
But not a very, I mean, like, but when he was it was the CBA then, it wasn't G League. He was killing them for 30. It was like one of those guys that's like on Major League, you're not good enough to be a Major League Baseball player.
Yeah.
But you're an all-time great AAA player. You're somewhere in between, right? That was Khalid El-Amin. He wasn't quite an NBA player, man, but when he had his opportunity with the Bulls, he looked good for a time or two. But he couldn't stick because he wasn't quite good enough. I mean, I love Fred VanVleet because we both 5'10".
He's not chubby though.
Yeah, he on the way out there in Toronto eating them potatoes with the vinegar on it and stuff. Look, he gonna be as chubby as Kyle Lowry if he don't keep up.
Poutine with gravy and all this other. Yeah, I need to go. I want to go eat some poutine up in Toronto, man. That's what
Man, watch your mouth now. We gonna eat what?
It's French fries with gravy and a bunch of other stuff, cheese and all that. It's called poutine.
Okay.
P-O-U.
Now you gotta spell it. You ain't gotta spell it. Yo, but we ain't have but 7 listeners, but we gonna have 77 female listeners next week when they hear about you wanting to eat the what?
Poutine.
All right.
Anyway, back to the message at hand. So I really, man, I hope they put this tournament together. I will be so excited to watch that. I will watch all the lower teams play, man. That would be so awesome. I don't know how they're going to do it. I'm looking forward to listening to their plans for that. But man, I hope they put that together. That would be so cool.
It would be nice, man. I can't front. It would be nice. We'll have games at 7:00 on the West Coast here. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. So I guess that's moving on. Man, that's all I got really for kind of a man. I've been working so much. I'm having trouble keeping up with all the news and everything. So did I miss anything? We just okay. So let's move on to You Suck.
Oh, for me, You Suck. I got I'm gonna flip it today. I was gonna give a You Suck to a coffee shop that shall not be named because they don't like brothers. So I just want to give a You the Shiznit to Dutch Brothers because this thing was good, man. I know you making fun of me because I was drinking, a caramel pumpkin brulee. What you say it was? It was mighty what?
I didn't say that. You said that.
Yeah, well, somebody said it was mighty white of me because I was drinking caramel pumpkin brulee, and you said it's true. But instead of a You Suck, I ain't gonna even mention that other company name because they don't like black people, so it's cool. I'm gonna go with a You the Shiznit. I'm gonna flip it today with a You the Shiznit. Dutch Brothers with the caramel pumpkin brulee. It was thebomb.com. If you got one in your neighborhood, go visit. I ain't been paid for this, so I would have been drinking 2 or 3 of them. But it is delicious, and you should go get one soon.
I have never heard of those guys, but if I ever see one, I'll stop by and say hello.
Please do.
All right, for You Suck, we're going to go with a yearly favorite. This happens every year. The fantasy football players that take your guys right in front of you.
Dang it, I wish I'd have thought of that.
You've been holding out. You think you can get that guy in the 3rd round because everybody's taking him in the 4th round. And the dude, 2 picks in front of you takes your guy.
And that guy don't even know how to draft. Go ahead.
And he doesn't know how to draft. You've been listening to Fantasy Sports Radio. You've been doing your homework. You've been saying, this guy's worth that. This is the reason he's going to do it. He's got this offensive line that's going to open up these holes for him left and right. Or this, passing scheme is going to help this wide receiver. And you know that guy. And then some dude who recognizes his name from 4 years ago or had a friend that went to high school in the same town with that guy, reaches up and picks your man. Those guys that just
I'm getting angry just thinking about it, bro.
I know, how many times Ray and I had 2 drafts this week together? How many times did that happen? Probably half a dozen or more.
At least 6.
At least 6.
It's worse when you done hit a guy that nobody else know about.
You're right. You moved him way up in your rankings.
And they hit auto draft and it drafts your guy. What the hell I do all this research for?
Yeah. Man, I move a guy up like 2 rounds worth of stuff in my draft rankings and whatever. And most post guys, drafting will go by the whatever ranks the ESPN or whoever gives them. And I moved my guy way up. So I know, hey, I'm going to take him up here so I don't lose him. I don't miss him. What happens? Some screwball who doesn't know what they're doing takes my guy. Oh, man, I like that team. Their color scheme is pretty. I'm going to take this guy because he plays for that team. Oh, yeah. So that's my you suck this week. You suck. People that take my fantasy players like 1 or 2 picks right before me.
Bravo. That might be in the best you suck ever right there, bro. That's painful, bro. That's painful.
It's fun. But, I come prepared. So even if I don't get that guy that I wanted, there's another guy right behind him that I can take.
Right.
So there you go. What you got for Ray's Rumination?
Ray's Rumination happened just a few hours ago when I was at work. I shall change the names to protect the innocent. We're going to call this young lady, Bessie Smith. Miss Smith was, in my job, for people who don't know, in my job, I help people in certain medical situations get certain medical supplies that they may need. All right? So the lady calls Bessie Smith. And long story short, Bessie Smith was about 85 years old, and she hit on me. She hit on me. She say, "Oh, you sound good." I said, "Well, trying to be nice and get points, for my boss is listening." I say, "Well, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that." And she say, "Well, baby, how old are you?" "I'm 85. I said, "Well, ma'am, I'm none of you." And she says, "You got kids?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I do got kids." She said, "Well, how many?" At this point, I'm feeling a little nervous, like, this old lady's serious.
Uh-oh.
I said, 6. And she said, "Ooh, that's too fertile for me. Bye," and hung up the phone. And she's 85. How can anyone, is she still producing babies? Like, she 85, she hung up saying I'm too fertile. Come on. So that's my raised woman. I just want to shout out Miss Bessie Smith. I know it ain't your real name, but I don't want to call you out and get in trouble with my own job. But to whoever you might be, 85 years old, I'm gonna tell you what state she was in. Virginia. I ain't never going to Virginia, bro. I'm just telling you right now. I might be at the Walmart buying some hair grease. and she hit, and the lady at the register might, when I say thank you, I appreciate, she might hear my voice and jump my bones right there. Old battle axe saber tooth looking man, not cougar. When you 85, that's a saber tooth. That's all I got for Ray's Women.
That's freaking hilarious. All right, for Dave's dialogue, just I talked last week about mom's moving back into her house that week, and man, the pipes burst. Brand new house. They just put it together. The pipes in the guest bathroom burst and messed up the floors. So we went and moved some stuff in this weekend just so they could put their clothes in the closets and stuff like that, their winter clothes and all that kind of stuff that they don't need right away. But man, that's just too bad. They're gonna try it again this week. They're gonna move all their stuff in. The contractor's fixing the floors, so that's good. They're paying for that. They're taking care of it. But that was just a delay. So once again, I'm happy she's getting back in there, man. She's waited a long time, and it was a scary ordeal for her and very nerve-wracking and very emotional for her to lose her house last year. So I'm glad she's moving back in, but that week delay sucked.
I bet.
So that's all I got for today, man. I think we didn't have as much to talk about as usual. Well, in a few minutes here, we'll stick around maybe and talk about some fantasy football for our leagues. But for those of you who don't want to listen to the fantasy talk, appreciate it. What you got, man?
And that's the show. If you like it, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit like. And if you don't like it, go ahead and hit subscribe and hit like anyway. They ain't gonna hurt nothing. But really, we just appreciate you listening to us talk about our life and sports and our life through sports on the internet or radio or your Bluetooth speakers. We don't do it to be attention seekers. We just two brothers talking about sports, better known to you as
Preachers from the bleachers.
Peace.
Peace. All right. Let's talk fantasy, baby.
Man, I don't know what my boy Patrick was doing with the 3 tight ends.
First of all, we're in a league with no tight ends. There's no tight end spot. How did you end up with 3 tight ends, Patrick Terry?
I mean, Kelsey, okay, no tight end, but that works out.
Yeah.
Hopkins and Cook. He took Cook from New Orleans. So Cook.
So what did we say early in the season? But when we started talking about fantasy, how many tight ends are worth taking?
In my opinion, 3.
3, maybe 4.
I don't count Gronk.
Okay. I don't. Still maybe 4. All right.
How can somebody explain to me, if you even look at Gronk's ADP, all them cats that really deep in the fantasy where they, betting thousands of dollars, not drafting Gronk because they know that Godwin getting touches, Evans getting touches, not many left.
Leonard Fournette now.
It's just not many left for Gronk. Gronk is what he will always have been, is a security blanket, but that security blanket was real heavy when you didn't have people on the outside like Godwin and people like Mike Evans. Now, that security blanket is really, truly when everybody else is guard. Maybe, Mike Evans fall down on a wet turf, Godwin is double team. Okay, now we could throw it to Gronk. He is truly just an outlet.
Yeah.
So drafting him, he can't even be number 4, Dave.
Not only did your boy Patrick Terry end up with 3 tight ends, your other boy, Devin, Vegas City Boys, ended up with 3 tight ends.
Damn, why is it people I know that got 3 tight ends?
I don't know, man. He got Gronk. You talking about Gronk? He got Gronk. He got Gesicki and George Kittle. Which George Kittle, absolutely.
I didn't know. Yeah, he did get Kittle. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it does.
So the third one is, well, you know what? I've heard rumors that dude's supposed to be legit.
Gesicki?
Would I draft him? No.
Not in a
Dave,
you don't have no tight end spot.
World, who is my tight end number 1?
His name is Streamer.
Stream. That's tight end number 1.
Stream.
If I draft a tight end in the league, the second league we're in where I had to draft a tight end, that's tight end number 2. But only because I had to draft him. My number 1 tight end is Stream. And if for people that don't understand what fantasy talk is when they say Stream, that means every week I might have a new one. Yeah. I ain't no tight end. No tight end. I would rather take a loss than a draft a tight end.
So looking at teams in our league, is there anybody who you think looks particularly stacked or?
No, I mean, there might be a favorite, but right offhand, I couldn't tell you who it was.
Well, what was funny to me is that my boy Daniel, who is now called Saquon D's Nuts, that's a college senior for you there. Man, he said he didn't know this was a non-PPR draft, and that's probably on me. When we did the thing originally, I should have said, hey, this is a non-PPR. It's a standard league. But I'm looking at his team and going, man, that's not a bad team. He's got Dak Prescott, Saquon Barkley, Julio Jones, David Johnson, who, he's not a first rounder by any means, but, that's a top quarterback, a top running back, a top wide receiver. That's a pretty good looking team right there. That's a good start.
I would disagree with you on saying that it's a pretty good team, except for he did get Kareem Hunt, because his second wide receiver is a third wide receiver.
Deontay Johnson
is a second wide receiver.
I think he might have a breakout year, dude. So, but even so,
he's when I rephrase, not his second wide receiver is the third option in wide receiving on a team. So that would hurt if he didn't have Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
But ultimately,
Barkley, Jones, and Dak Prescott, that's a pretty good foundation.
I mean, you ask, is there somebody that will,
I'm not saying he's going to run away with it, but that's a good start.
I mean, first of all, there's a lot of good people in this league. Like when you look at their teams, you're like, well, that's a good team. Like you just keep going through and you be like, that's a good team. Like there's nobody that is so evenly matched. It just come down to who had a better game. Like the draft to me really drafted out even. You know what I mean? Like if I just had to pick a team, I would say myself.
Yeah, me too. That's what I would say too.
Only for one reason. I drafted upside one. I drafted upside and people who had stuff to prove, like Stephon Diggs. It could go bad on me. It could go bad, or it could go really great. You know what I'm saying? like that could go. Brown. I love Brown. A lot of people love Brown at wide receiver at Tennessee. It could go just like last year. He could not improve, and then he's just, it was a good pick. But if he takes the step, that was a heck of a pick. You see what I'm saying? So the upside, it's so much upside in my team that makes it say, like even on somebody can you have downside and upside at the same time? That would be Mark Ingram.
Sure. Yeah.
Because he might miss a lot of carries, but he's going to get a lot of goal line carries, I think. So like the yards might not be there, but he might actually have 8 to 10 touchdowns. He might be the new LeGarrette Blount.
I think I got a lot of upside too. I got 2 or 3 really solid guys, but I got like Antonio Gibson, who's got upside, Zach Moss, upside.
Zach Moss got a lot of upside. The best thing about Zach Moss is you already know he's gonna play.
Yes.
Like that's a done deal. He is going to play. And if Singletary keep fumbling the ball, he gonna lose carries. Yeah. He gonna lose even more carries than he already given up to Zach Moss.
The number one upside guy that I got is AJ Green. Nobody knows what he's going to do. He could come back and be the all pro that he was before he left. So
why would, in my opinion, wouldn't he? I don't understand that concept. Why wouldn't
I don't either.
If I'm Joe Burrow, who else the hell I'm throwing to? I'm a rookie. I mean, like I drafted AJ Green in almost every mock draft I had because every time I looked up, they was drafting him down there with the scrubs.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they was drafting him with the scrubs.
I must have got him 5th or 6th round. I can't even remember.
He was being drafted with scrubs and rookie wide receivers who you think like that's not right. like to me, I get it. He was hurt. I get it. But I also understand that they say he healthy now. They say he lacing him up. And he got a rookie quarterback that knows this dude is an all-pro. This dude is a pro bowler. Like, if I get stuck, I'm just going to throw it in that direction. So I don't understand how AJ Green wasn't higher. Like, I don't know.Maybe I put too much real football into my fantasy football thought. But the reality is he going to get targets. He has to get targets. There's no other place when Joe Burrow is rattled and he think he ready and everybody else think he ready. You better throw it to somebody you know they can go do it.
Let me see where I got him. I'm gonna try to see where. I don't know what round he was in, but I mean it was like 5th, 6th round, something like that. AJ Green at number 67, round 6, middle of the 6th round. So yeah, I like my upside too. Man, it was a really fun draft. I got to say, this is one of the most fun drafts that I've had in many years. And that's because there were 6 of us that got online and we're just having chat. It wasn't no video, but just being online. It was you and me and Neil and Matthew and who else was in there?
I think Neil and Matthew
Zeus.
And Matthew made a love connection.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And Jamal joined us a little bit later. So yeah, it was really cool, man. That was a lot of fun, just talking trash and whatever in the draft, man. And that's something I haven't done since I think the last in-person draft I did, which probably 25 years ago with a basketball league that I started in college. So man, that was a lot of fun.
Last week of August for all the fantasy people in the Preachers from the Preachers Fantasy Football League, Keeper League. Last week of August next year, 2021, we're going to Vegas.
All right. We're going to Vegas. You're already in Vegas, man. You ain't going nowhere.
Well, I could be in Rancho Cucamonga tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna go. I'll go wherever the wind blow me. You know what I mean? I could. You know what I mean? I could be in New Hampshire. Eating a syrup sandwich this time next month.
All right. You do it.
Until it gets cold. And then
let's go to Vegas, man. Let's do it in Vegas. Let's do it in Vegas.
2021.
We'll put some prop bets on the first week.
Las Vegas. So start saving your money now. You know what I mean? You put, $10, $20 every paycheck in there. Except for Matthew. Matthew got so much money. I heard that when he write a check, the bank bounce. That's what I heard.
What?
That's what I heard.
Well, he's going to be a professional poker player, I believe. So
that's why you do got to have a lot of money to stake your own self, unless your big bank check's going to stake
it. They are not.
Matthew, when you get famous on that poker circuit, though, bro, you're going to be the first poker player with a bodyguard.
Yeah, I was going to say he's going to hire you and me for security.
I'm just going to stand behind Matthew. I'm going to be on World Series of Poker.
Don't smile, man. Do that thing where you stand still and you got this sort of grimace on. Yeah, there you go, right there. Ain't nobody coming near you.
And when I get and every time they be like, you don't want to raise. Because I do that to everybody else. You don't want to raise. That's Matthew's pot.
Yeah. Right on, man. Like I said, it was a lot of fun. It really was. So I hope we can, maybe try to find some time to do that throughout the year or something like that, and definitely do it for the draft next year, hopefully in Vegas. But like I said, I had a great time. I'm looking forward to this season.
Round table, bro.
Round table.
We're gonna do a round table at the middle of the season with everybody.
Okay.
And bring them on the show.
All right. I'm good with that. See what's going on. Who's having a good season? Who's not?
How they feel about their roster? What trades they didn't make? Should have made.
I'm going to take this opportunity to throw it out there right now. I could probably do a little better at quarterback. If somebody's got somebody they want to give me for kind of cheap. Somebody they want to get rid of. Like I said, Zach Moss.
I like how you say cheap. I ain't even mad at you. You're just like, hey man, I'm just gonna put it out there. I can do a little better at quarterback, but I want it to come cheap. I ain't even mad at you there.
I got some, Zach. Like I said, Zach Moss has got some upside. I got some, decent bench receivers, man. That definitely worthy of flex spots. Curtis Samuel, John Brown, Golden Tate, N'Keal Harry. N'Keal Harry is going to have a breakout season. There's nobody else to catch passes in New England.
I'll get you David Carr for N'Keal Harry.
I might think about that.
Well, just pick him up on the waiver wire, Dave. I ain't got David Carr.
I was going to, all right.
But if you do, let me know, because if I will pick up N'Keal Harry.
So yeah, I'm not dropping him. I'll trade him. I'm not dropping him. He's going to stay on my roster the whole season. Like I said, I don't think there's anybody else to catch passes there in New England. So
look at that again, bro. I just looked at my roster again. Between Brandon Ayuk, I can't say the name,
Ayuk
and Chenault, those could be great. Those could be great, especially in a bye week. Like by the time that my wide receivers, if they not on the same bye week, those are great replacements later on in the year just to plug in and be like, hey, go do your thing. They not gonna get you 12, but they might get you 7 to 8. Yeah. At least give yourself a chance.
Look, Kirk Cousins is out there, man.
Yeah, dog, just grab you one.
Phillip Rivers. I love me some Phillip Rivers. Oh my God.
Love what you do?
I do. I always have. He's always done my fantasy team pretty well.
Last years, boy.
Teddy B is out there, man. I know you love him.
I do. When I actually mentioned it, I might have to pick him up right now.
Tyrod Taylor's out there.
Shockingly, Tyrod gonna shock the world when he have 350 yards to 450 yards rushing.
Yes. Why is this not trying to sort it by projection? It's not doing a very good job.
I already got 3 quarterbacks, man.
Do you? No. Who do you have?
Tannehill. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the other league. This league, I got Breeze and Tannehill. And Rodgers. I lied. I do have 3 quarterbacks. Love them quarterbacks. Like, I have so many, I can't even keep track.
Breeze, Rodgers, and Tannehill.
I can't keep track.
That's pretty good. So Derek Carr is projected for 17.4 points against Carolina, whose defense is the worst in the league this year.
That's the same amount as Breeze is supposed to get, which I don't believe.
And Phillip Rivers against Jacksonville is slated for 16.5.
Tell me the best player on Tampa Bay defense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Exactly. So tell me the Pro Bowl on Tampa Bay, and they only got Breeze. Why do they think these people gonna fall off? I mean,
I don't know.
Breeze and Rodgers, people have just predicted fall off. I heard Neil say something about because the system he in. Okay, and when that system ain't working, what they gonna do? Aaron Rodgers will turn back into Aaron Rodgers. They can call whatever play they want. I know this. If I'm Aaron Rodgers and I'm the quarterback, I'm gonna make you bench me. Because if I feel like if it's a play I can run or I'm a run. I think I earned that. Right? I don't even like the fact that coaches call plays anyway. It just kind of annoys me. Let's go back to the 90s where quarterbacks called their own plays. It's a difference. I know they communicate, but him and this coach don't seem to quite be clicking, right?
No.
Right? But so I know quarterbacks communicate and say, hey, man, I think we should be running this because it's a difference, right? I'm looking at these linebackers. I'm looking at the corners. I can see the safeties. You looking at it from the sideline. I might see something completely different than you. Like I see the difference when he done move 1 foot to the left or 1 foot to the right or 2 yards deeper or 2 yards closer to the line of scrimmage. I see that. You can't see that. And for that reason, I wish quarterbacks were calling their own plays because maybe, you know what? Maybe they just trying not to call their own plays because then that's less responsibility and they don't want to have that on their head. Like maybe you'll get replaced a lot sooner. But when you're Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees or, you know what I mean? Like you call your play. You call your play. Like in basketball, which we did talk about. Hey, man, when you got a point guard and he's really, truly a coach on the play, watch the Lakers and Rondo. All of a sudden, Rondo controlling the pace and calling plays better than LeBron did. It's like, hold up, man, we got this big man on that, man. I mean, he literally, get your big ass down there and he threw the ball score, man. Like he wasn't playing no games with that dude 6'5", bro. Hey. Like y'all space out, bro. I'm finna feed this big man right here.
That's right.
Like that's just common sense. But when you caught up into the game and you LeBron James, no disrespect to LeBron James and Anthony Davis, you don't have Rondo has an old school point guard mentality. My job is to get everybody, especially when you can't shoot. So his job is definitely to get everybody else involved, but also be smart enough to know this is the advantage. Okay, I'm gonna give the ball to you. Yeah, I don't care nothing about you, LeBron James. Like, dude, like Rondo. That's how Rondo operates. Really,
we're gonna win this game.
I'm gonna win this damn game. Like, I know who you are. I know your pedigree, but that ain't the move right now. Now, and it just so happens that LeBron respect him. But I'm saying the same thing about football and quarterbacks. You got to be an extension of the coach, and you got to know when it's 3rd and 6 and the coach puts in a play that you know is going to go right into – I know they have check with means, but I'm saying you might have to check out that whole series. Like if the coach gave you 2 or 3 plays, you should be able to recognize that ain't it. And I'm not calling no damn timeout. We need this timeout. I'm finna run this play.
Yeah.
I think quarterbacks should all do that.
Well,
maybe not Joe Burrow.
I like Joe Burrow this year. You know what I did while you were doing all that talking? I picked up Phillip Rivers.
Who'd you drop though? Who'd you drop?
Daniel Jones.
Pippen.
Yeah. See, I know you don't care about him. That's all right.
I like Daniel Jones, but ain't nobody I want to pick up and replace nobody I got.
You know who else I got with upside? Sammy Watkins.
Sammy Watkins, but it's situational. Like you gotta know it's gonna be a lot of 3 type days. And you gotta know, oh, this is the game Sammy Watkins is gonna shine. And just put him in. Like, and it's only gonna be 3 or 4 games where he gonna give you, 50 to 65 yards and a score. Right?
Yes. He's the Western Deshaun Jackson.
You gotta know when it's gonna happen. Like if they got some weak safety, they got a weak safety and 1 weak corner, Deshaun Jackson, Sammy Watkins time. Because they were gonna line him up out there, say go deep, and Patrick gonna get the ball to you.
That's right.
But other than that, 3 points every week.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and wind this up. We say good night to you guys in the Preachers from the Bleachers Fantasy League. Again, the draft was a great time. Good luck to everybody this week that's not playing me.
Peace.
Later, guys.
Nate.